How did saving someone's life ruin yours? I was on my morning walk when I saw a stroller rolling onto a busy street. It had a toddler inside. The kids' parents were on the sidewalk laughing at their phones, completely oblivious to the car doing 50 heading right for their 2-year-old. The car wasn't slowing either, not seeing the child. My body reacted instantly. I sprinted into the street and shoved the stroller as hard as I could. The car swerved last second, but it clipped my hip as it did. Then it was gone. No plates, no driver, just a hit and run. I hit the pavement hard, bruised ribs, sprained ankle, blood running down my arm, but the toddler was worse. He'd been thrown from the stroller on impact, broken arm, fractured collarbone. His head had hit the curb. That's when the parents came running, sobbing, grabbing their crying son. They ran over to me. "You saved him. Thank you, thank you. He would have died if not for you." The ambulance took us both to the hospital. I was released that night with bandages and painkillers. The next day, the parents showed up at my apartment. They brought gift baskets, flowers. The mother hugged me. "You're a hero." I was touched and invited them over for coffee. 2 weeks later, I was still limping from the accident when my doorbell rang. I answered to see a man in a suit holding an envelope, lawsuit papers. The parents were suing me for assaulting their child. If convicted, I would have to pay them $350,000 and do 8 years in prison. I was in disbelief. I drove straight to their house thinking I was about to clear up a misunderstanding. The father opened the door. I showed him the papers and lightheartedly joked that this had to be a mix-up. Instead of laughing with me, his face went cold. "You fractured my son's skull. He might have permanent brain damage now." My jaw dropped. I saved his life. The car would have killed him. That's when the dad said something that made me question everything. "What car?" Nobody saw a car. He stepped closer. "Plead guilty. Pay the $200,000 settlement, or we'll make sure you get the maximum." The door slammed in my face. I stared at that door for what must have been 10 minutes. Did he seriously think there was no car? That I just chose to sprint into the street and push his toddler into the curb for fun? I hired a public defender that same day. My first meeting with him, he said, "There's no cameras on that street. It was an empty road. No one passing by. You didn't see the plate. There's no witnesses who saw anything. It's your word against theirs." The preliminary hearing was a disaster. The prosecutor showed x-rays of the skull fracture on a massive screen. A medical expert testified that the injuries were consistent with extreme blunt force trauma. The parents cried on the stand. We looked away for 1 second, and he attacked our baby. The night before the trial, I couldn't sleep. Just stared at the ceiling, replaying the moment, the car, the impact. How had nobody seen it? On trial day, the parents sat in the front row crying about their toddler. The prosecutor destroyed me in the opening. He called me violent, reckless, dangerous. Then, 2 witnesses took the stand, people I'd never seen before. I saw her shove the stroller. There was no car. My jaw dropped. These people weren't even there. How was this happening? The parents sobbed through their entire testimony. The father held up photos of his son in the ICU for everyone to see. "Look at his scars. Look what he did to our boy." He then pulled out photos of an empty box. "We've had to sell my late mother's jewelry to pay for our son's medical costs. All we're asking for is fair compensation," he cried, pointing at me. "And that this monster sees the inside of a cell." When it was my turn to take the stand, most of the courtroom looked at me like Homer looks at Flanders. The prosecution questioned me. "Did the child sustain a skull fracture as a direct result of your actions?" "There was a car. Yes or no?" He interrupted me. "Yes." No further questions. My lawyer had nothing. No witnesses. No evidence. "Judge, does the defense have anything else?" "No, Your Honor." She was reaching for her gavel. Suddenly, the courtroom doors burst open. A man stumbled in, shaking, out of breath. "I was the driver. I have to tell the truth." The parents' faces drained white. "Judge, who are you?" "Abraham Goldberg." He pointed at the parents. "Their nephew. They paid me $1,000 to drive at their kid and swerve at the last second." The mother screamed. "We've never seen him before." Abraham held up his phone. "I have every text." The judge connected it to the courtroom screen. The father's messages appeared one by one. "Drive fast enough to look real. He walks this route every day at 9:30. We'll let the stroller roll into the street. When he saves the kid, we wait 2 weeks, then sue. Hospital bills will make the settlement bigger." The courtroom was dead silent. Abraham was crying now. "I needed money, but I can't let an innocent person go to prison for something I helped do. If you need to arrest someone, arrest the 3 of us." The judge instantly slammed her gavel. "Bailiff, arrest all 3 of them, now." Abraham looked around. "Wait, I'm actually getting arrested? I didn't think you'd actually arrest me too." But he was already in handcuffs. The parents were dragged out alongside him, screaming. The judge turned to me. "All charges dismissed. You're free to go." The father wrote me a letter from prison apologizing. I replied, "Don't drop the soap, buddy."